Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat. Today we're going to be talking about Anthony Gordon, how he's made a miraculous recovery from a dejected player who we thought was a £40 million flop to an exciting young talent who should be in the England squad. We're going to talk about how that's happened, who's responsible and why he's so good this season. So let's start this by looking at his form this season. He's been electric, hasn't he, Harry?
He has been absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to come out and say first that I didn't used to like him. I think he was an overpriced, whingy twat. But to be honest, he's really grown on me, and he has been in phenomenal form this season for Newcastle.
Is that a technical description there?
Yeah.
Overpriced whingy twat. Yeah, nice.
And he has looked brilliant. Every time he gets on the ball, every time he is on a pitch, he has lit it up this year.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see, and really big for Newcastle.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal for his position. He's done excellently. I mean, if you look at his stats already this season, then 6 goals and 3 assists. If you compare that to all of last season, where he notched up just 4 goals and didn't provide an assist all season, that is simply incredible that he's already managed those numbers in just 12 starts. If you look across the board, really, his dribble success rate his successful dribbles are up, his dribble success rate is a little bit all over the place, but that's expected with a winger who is a little bit rough around the edges. There's still a little bit of polishing to be done with Gordon, but he is blossoming into a really exciting player. His touches in an opposition box are what really stand out to me. If you look at his numbers from last season in the Premier League, then it was down at just 80 touches. If you consider then this season in only 12 starts, as I said earlier, it is now up at 52 touches in the opposition box.
Wow.
562 touches in opposition box is 52, but consider only 80 after the full season last season, 52 in 14 games this season, or 12 games for him. They're really, really impressive numbers so far from Gordon. He's really blossoming into an exciting player, a player who can penetrate the box really easily with his dynamic movement. He is a really, really exciting player.
Yeah, and he has done really, really well, as you say. Vast improvement on last year. And those underlying numbers are brilliant, but his numbers on the surface look good as well. As you said, what was it, 6 goals, 3 assists this year already? He's up his goal tally. We knew he was already a good goal scorer, though.
But it's because
I'm really interested in his assists. You know, he's become a little bit less selfish, as I said, a little bit less of a whiny bloke. And he kind of gets on with it. He's happy to help his team out, and he's happy to get them assists. And his numbers are phenomenal.
I agree with that to an extent. I think his decision-making has become better in actual fact. I think in a sense he's become more selfish. He started taking more shots. All of last season, 32 matches in total, we took just 34 shots. That represents a clear lack of
Really a shot a game.
prerogative to take a shot. If you compare that to this season, he's already took 27 shots, and his shot map is now a lot more full. As he's cutting in for that left-hand side, there's a clear, if you look at his shot map, a lot of them operate on that left-hand side, cutting in and taking shots. And if you look at where he's placing them as well, you can see there's a clear change in how calm he's in front of goal, because he's putting it in the right sorts of areas. A lot aimed towards that bottom right corner, which is quite obvious from a right-footed left winger to cut inside and place it across the goalkeeper. A plethora of other efforts across goal though. So he's doing really, really well at the moment, Gordon, and he's been developed into a winger who can take it wide, go to the touchline and cut it back, and that's why he's notching up assists, or cut inside and has the confidence to take a shot and the ability to fire one in the back of the net. So that's been the real big change, is his confidence on the ball, both to provide assists for teammates and take shots himself. And the reason he is doing so much better is actually his shot accuracy is lower. It's because he's shooting so much more. So it's a real positive for Gordon there. So yeah, what does this show about his game? It shows there's a clear directive from Eddie Howe, from the coach staff, to cut inside, to take shots. That's shown very, very evidently. But why is this so important then, Harry?
Well, the thing is, it changes Newcastle's game drastically. They are a team who have had a lot of injuries. You know, they had both Isak and Wilson out injured. Gordon led the line, did a brilliant job.
Yeah.
Him and Jacob Murphy have ran the shirt times this year. What an unlikely duo that is. And they have, he has done really well. He's stepping up in the absence of others. He is putting on a brilliant show. He's getting the goals that Newcastle need him to get. These are the numbers that they need to see. If they want to be a Champions League team, if they want to be a top Premier League top 4 team, they're the kind of numbers, this is the kind of player they need to see every single game, every single year.
We've always known Gordon has been electrically quick, one of the quickest players in the Premier League. It's now he's finally utilising that. And actually, he's a really good dribbler. We've known that for years. To be fair, he's never really been a phenomenal dribbler. He's now starting to show signs of that and able to draw fouls a lot better. If you look at his numbers, he ranks highest in the Premier League for penalties won and he's also notched up 29 fouls won, which I think only a couple players top that. So some really, really impressive stats. And for me, that shows Gordon maturing into a player who knows how to draw a foul, who can be patient in possession and wait for the opportunities to arise, and that is confident enough to take more shots, to look for cutbacks, to make the right decisions. And that's been a real change in his game this season, and Eddie Howe's done really well to develop that. So yeah, I mean, we could speak about the role Eddie Howe's had. We know how good he is at developing young talent. He did that at Bournemouth for a little bit. He's doing it now with Gordon. He's doing it with Miley. He's doing it with Livramento, a load of different players. We talk about those for hours.
Yeah.
Livramento, obviously, a big talking point this week. But
we talk about Gordon's game from a physical point of view on the pitch, how well he's done. But I think the mental aspect of his game is massive. When we speak about the role he has, he has gone from being a player last year who, when he got subbed off, stormed past his manager, didn't shake his hand, went and sat down, shrugged his shoulders, had a strop. He's completely got rid of that out of his game.
Yeah.
And now he has got, he's the pedigree of fullbacks he's going up against, Hakimi, Kalulu, Reece James, Kyle Walker, and he is causing them so many problems.
Yeah.
It's mentally. This guy 2 years ago was at Everton, and now he is notching up numbers in the Champions League.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's been a clear and evident change in his temperament. I think it's only natural when you are the star player at Everton at such a young age. You then get a big move to Newcastle. You're going to be quite arrogant, and I think it's really good. As you were talking about, a lot of positive stuff with the mental aspect. Eddie Howe obviously working hard with them to change that temperament, to change that mindset. It's now very much about wanting to improve, wanting to do it for the team, wanting to get involved. And that's been the big difference. And actually, he's blossoming now into a really, really incredible footballer, and someone who I think a lot of people are very impressed with this season. Because, to be honest, I think the same as you. I never hated him, as you put it, but I didn't really see where the potential was. I didn't really see why they would spend £40 million on him. But we're now starting to see that actually they spent £40 million on that raw player. The fact he is incredibly quick and the fact he can shoot. And now Eddie Howe is turning him into a really exciting winger, a really dynamic winger, someone who can take the fullbacks both ways, and someone who can really notch up goal contributions on a regular level.
I'll tell you what, maybe it's an Everton problem. Because you look at Gordon, Richarlison, Lukaku, all these star players for them who just end up being really arrogant and not very good. Whereas Anthony Gordon's got that out of his game, Richarlison hasn't, and now look how that's serving him. Yeah,
100%. I think that's been a big change for Gordon. He looks a completely different player. Yeah. I also think, you mentioned with the mental aspect, I think with his decision making has been his biggest change as well. The fact that he does now get into good positions and makes the right decisions. Yeah. He doesn't overthink it. He remains calm and he decides, I'm going to take a shot, I'm going to pass it across, whatever he's going to do. He makes that decision and he makes the right decision more often than not at the moment. And that's why he's being rated so highly. But we've seen some of the games this season, he's caused a lot of issues with fullbacks. I mean, even Kyle Walker was struggling to keep up with him. I think that says a lot about how dangerous a player he really is. So, yeah, I mean, I saw it opening day of the season against Villa. I think that was when he really impressed. I mean, obviously, I think playing with higher quality players breeds higher quality performances. So Sandro Tonali actually in that game was a big impact because he was able to move it to Gordon and then make the movement to receive the pass again. That was obviously for the first goal. Was a 1-2 between those two. So, yeah, seeing more and more like that where we're by playing with better players, he is playing better. But I wouldn't blame it all on that. I also think he is just a really, really good player. And he's finally, now that he's confident and calm and composed, we're seeing the best of him. So where is his ceiling?
Do you know what? It's really hard to call because he's already in what I'd call a top 6 club.
A Champions League side, a team that can fight for the title.
A team that could get through possibly into the Champions League knockouts. Exactly. The next step for him is to go on to win trophies. But I think that's also the next step for Arsenal. For Newcastle. Arsenal. Arsenal aren't winning anything. No, they won't win anything, ever.
Again, they've won a lot in the past. And they are top of the Premier League right now. But if we ignore that, they won't. They were
13 points clear last year, bottled it. Not a chance. But that's the next step for Newcastle, is to go on and win trophies.
Yeah.
And for me, I can see Anthony Gordon doing just that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to play for someone like Real Madrid.
No.
I don't think he's ever going to play for Barcelona. But I think he has found himself at a very, very good level. Would I be surprised to see Manchester United put £100 million offering? No, because Manchester United.
And they like to spend a lot of money on players.
They love buying money. And they love buying players. But yeah.
I hope for Gordon, no, he doesn't do that because that is exactly the type of club where he'd get his attitude back, get his hump back on. He's Mr. Big Balls act, and he doesn't need that. He's perfect where he is now.
Remaining grounded and putting in the performances.
I say the next step for Newcastle is to go on to win trophies. You look at the Newcastle squad, some of them won't be there when that happens. I think Gordon will probably be one of the first names on the team sheet when that does.
I think based on his current performances, 100% yes. I think also we're speaking about how we've got the Euros out in 6 months. Draw on Saturday, really in the mood. And a lot of the talks have been around Tino at Livramento. Because obviously he's linked with Scotland, there's potential there for him to go and play for Scotland, and whether Southgate needs to give him a call up just to sort of protect against that. One thing I've not really spoken much about is Anthony Gordon and whether he deserves a call up. So we've got internationals coming up in March. Should he be amongst Southgate's squad?
He deserves it much more than Rashford does, and people might disagree with that, but I think it's.
But then they are wrong based on this season.
The proof's in the pudding. I don't care what Rashford's done for us, and what has he done? He's done well for England, but Gordon's looked phenomenal this year.
Well, that's the thing. I think the real positive for Anthony Gordon is that he offers something nobody else does. Because by having Grealish on that left-hand side, if you take Rashford, there's not really much difference there. I think Rashford's a lot more direct than Grealish, or a bit more direct than Grealish, but Gordon's a whole nother level of direct than Grealish. So you would have a really... It's almost... Gordon's much more similar to Doku, in the sense that he loves to take a player on and really good at cutting inside and scoring. He doesn't stick too close to that touchline. So you'd have options there with those two. So I think he does put himself in good stead. The fact he's got that versatility to play through the middle as well, I think aids him in that regard. So for me, if I was having to pick an England team right now, he would probably make it, because I wouldn't be having Rashford. I wouldn't be having... Trying to think if there are any other competition on that left flank. To be fair, that's not a huge amount.
You have to be thinking as well from Southgate. Not only is he a phenomenal player, but with the pedigree of free kick talent that this England side has, with Trippier, Trent, Ward-Prowse, Maddison, you name them.
Yeah.
If you've got a player like Gordon in there who can win free kick after free kick after free kick, give James Ward-Prowse 3 free kicks in a Euros game, he scores at least 2 of them.
Put him on one flank, Sterling on the other. Grealish an option off the bench. Winning free kicks for days. That's all we're going to do.
We'll get so many free kicks, we'll give everyone a go. Trent can have one, Trippier have one, Ward-Prowse have one.
Share them out.
Saka can have one, Rashford can have one, Sterling can have one.
I don't know how they're all starting in it. I don't know how Saka and Rashford are starting with Gordon and Sterling. Yeah, to be fair. Possibly. Just don't play any of his 17 fullbacks he's taking.
Maybe we should call up Gordon and Eddie Howe for England.
Well, I think that aids Gordon as well, the fact that I see Eddie Howe as future England manager. For me, I think that...
Winter trophy at Newcastle.
It very much depends how well he does at Newcastle. Because if he's showing that he could win a Champions League or Premier League title with them, then I think he'll be able to stay. But if the problem is, Newcastle are very, very ambitious. If they don't know that they're going to do that, they will go and get a coach that will bring them that success. But I think Howe, for England, maybe 2034, around that sort of time, 2030.
That's a long time for England fans to wait. But that's the thing. That is the problem, though. It's either now or... In that 10 years' time, his opportunity is going to come, hopefully, after 2024 Euros.
I don't see him taking that right now, Hal. And I think it will come once Newcastle got bored of him.
Exactly. He might miss this chance and have to wait a very long time. Hopefully Gordon doesn't have to miss this chance, and he should be on that plane to Germany if he keeps this out.
Hopefully so. I mean, I can't see any way you can justify Grealish or Rashford over him at the moment.
Buy Gordon. Imagine that. I spent 2 years slagging him off. I'm going to go buy Gordon.
Suddenly an Anthony Gordon shit. And then joins Man United and his shit. That would really sum it up. But I think clearly Gordon has shown that he is a much better player now. I think clearly his numbers represent that. And for me, as we're saying, he should be on that plane. So hopefully he gets there.
He's fun to watch. He's a player that is so fun to watch. I love watching him now.
And I love that he's handled that step up he's stepped up in quality while also he's handling the step up of going into the Champions League really, really well.
Yeah.
So that's been really good. So overall, overwhelmingly positive, a really glowing review of Anthony Gordon there. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will have the same sort of opinions. There's a lot of people talking about Gordon this week. So I thought after his performance against Manchester United and performances this season, perfect opportunity to do a video on him. So get your thoughts in the comments down below. How good do you think Anthony Gordon really is? Make sure to comment that. But that is everything from today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here. We are live this evening, the day this goes out, for Chelsea versus Manchester United. We'll be live 45 minutes before kickoff so we can watch the first half of the other Premier League matches, and we'll be keeping up with all of them throughout the game. So please do join us there. Should be a good one. If you're already on to Thursday morning when you're watching this, unlucky you've missed that stream. But we are live this weekend for Aston Villa versus Arsenal, so join us there. Look out for Premier League predictions on Friday. That's everything from us today, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.